Hello everybody, Marcos Villegas here in Los Angeles, being joined with the trainer of Robert Easter Jr., Mr. Kevin Cunningham. Kevin, big unification fight, a fight that's pitting your man against Mikey Garcia, champion versus champion. I know we haven't seen a lot from Robert via social media or interviews or media like that. He's been locked away in camp with you in Florida. Let us know a little bit about the work that was done and what you brought out of Robert in this camp to prepare him for Mikey.
Well, I mean, we had a long training camp, 10 weeks to be exact, and it was a tremendous camp. He was great. I mean, he did everything that was asked. We basically emptied out Robert's toolbox and took all the tools that he has, refined and sharpened them for this fight, and he's ready to go.
In terms of you saying that, I guess what's the main weapons you want to see from Robert in this fight?
Well, I mean, he's multifaceted, and in terms of what weapons he could use. But for the most part, I want to see him fight like he's 6 feet tall. I want him to use the long reach, and dictate the tempo, control distance and range, and fight like he's the bigger guy.
How big of a factor do you think that's going to be in this fight, seeing that Mikey's a lot shorter? You mentioned Robert on paper has a lot of advantages physically over him.
Well, I mean, he has a lot of physical advantages over Mikey, but Mikey's a tremendous fighter. So you got to be smart, you got to be disciplined, you got to be focused, and you got to execute the game plan.
We know that Mikey likes to think. He picks his shots. Is volume going to come into play in this fight, you think, at all?
Yeah, but timing is more important than anything in this fight, because Mikey has excellent timing. That's why controlling range and distance is very important.
Looking back at Robert's two other performances prior, what do you make of how he fought those fights and how he looked in comparison to how he looked to you in camp?
Well, I mean, we all know that he fought fights where he didn't use the obvious height, reach, didn't control distance and range. So, but in camp, he's looked tremendous. He's following instructions, following the game plan, and I think he's going to have a good night on Saturday night.
Mikey Garcia coming into this fight is the favorite. What do you guys make of that?
Well, I'm not too surprised at that. I mean, being as though he's on the pound-for-pound list, not Robert. So, I mean, obviously, if he's a pound-for-pound top 10 fighter, and Robert hasn't made it to that point yet, then, it's obvious that he's going to be the favorite. But that's why we fight the fight. I mean, on fight night, you'll see who's the best between Robert Easter and Mikey Garcia.
Mikey is a very smart and intelligent fighter, but looking at the past fights that he's had, is there anything that you could pick up that just sticks out the most that you guys could take advantage of, or is there something that you look at and you'd be like, okay, he falls perfectly into what Robert has?
Yeah, well, he doesn't make a lot of mistakes, but I see a lot of advantages for Robert against Mikey. So hopefully we'll take advantage of those on Saturday night. And I think it's going to be a good night.
Keeping them playing close to the chest right there, I see. On a final topic, he's mentioning going up to welterweight. He's mentioning Errol Spence. How'd you guys first take to that when that came out, that he wanted Spence? And did you feel at all that he was overlooking or maybe subestimating Robert and your guys' work in Florida?
Well, I mean, it's one thing to vaguely mention what you might want to do next, but they're talking like it's almost a planned, set up deal already, and you haven't got past Robert Easter yet. So it's a little, to continuously talk about the next guy when you haven't got past Robert. It's a little disrespectful, but I mean, hey, I hope that they're overlooking Robert. So that'll play into our favor.
Finally, on Saturday night, does it go 12 rounds?
Probably. probably with, you got two really skilled fighters, two undefeated champions. I mean, somebody can get caught with a shot and get hurt, but I think it will go 12 rounds.
I can't wait. Kevin, hey, thanks for the time. Certainly appreciate it. Kevin Cunningham, of course, will be cornering Robert Easter Jr. coming up this Saturday here at the Staples Center in Los Angeles.